been a close one so far.
Look at the game for Redick. He's got 8 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of three-pointers.
Well, the defenders have that in the back of their minds now, too, so they're going to close out on him quicker. That should allow him to use the drive if he wants.
Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. D. Rose and Jimmy Butler at the backcourt. Inside at the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. And it's Dunleavy in the small forward.
You know, it's interesting. Chris Paul possessing great quickness, and yet his natural inclination is not to push the pace. He tends to prefer to operate in the half court, running the pick and roll.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, the Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau, known as one of the most demanding coaches in all the NBA, he said the teams that are special always play with a rare intensity. That's just how championship caliber teams play. He added, I don't think you really feel pressure if you're putting everything you have into each and every day. Sound strategy, Kevin.
He's one of the best getting that kind of effort from his players, Doris. Thank you. You talk about Paul's preference to play in the half court. Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan-Clark tend to flourish in the open floor.
And to me, Kevin, it's really about finding that balance, the right balance. But a good sign for the Clippers has been Blake's development as a half-court offensive weapon. He's shooting it better, facing the basket. He's shooting it better with his back to the basket, and he's making his free throws at a higher rate. So that lends itself to being a little more effective in the half-court.
Good observation.
Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Rose dishes to Gasol. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 6 points for Pau Gasol.
Great job there, recognizing the mismatch and taking advantage.
They got to put a bigger guy on him. Otherwise, he'll bury those jumpers all game.
Here's Butler. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Yes, one thing to create a turnover, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, that's even better.
A different look for the Clippers. Udo's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Turkoglu comes in for Barnes. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. Here's Turkoglu. No good off the front iron.
Still a bit chilly from the field at the start of this third quarter. 1 of 4 so far.
Gasol is screen on Turkoglu. Gasol with it. Turkoglu picks him up. He took good advantage of that screen. And now just a 1-point Clipper lead.
You know, one thing you have to admire, respect, and appreciate with this Bulls team is they've had some really difficult luck with the injuries to Derrick Rose, but it was a no-excuse team. They never hung their heads. They competed, and they continue to win at a high level.
And the Bulls so resilient. A lot of credit has to go to Coach Tom Thibodeau. He gets them to play with tremendous effort every game.
Well, in the front office, too, Kevin. I mean, you think about the late first-round picks that they've turned into Taj Gibson and Jimmy Butler. Very productive two-way players that have held their own when Rose was out.
Butler attacking. Here's Noah. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Another good pass, and their offensive execution has been impressive, to say the least.
The last 4 field goals have been assisted. Yeah, passing has kept the defense off balance, but to get assists, you got to make the shots.
Rivers kicks to Turkoglu. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. They'll shoot 1 more at the free throw line.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
Davis is checked in for Blake Griffin. Here's Gasol. It's rebounded by Udo. Udo's got 3 rebounds now in this one. 1:09 left in the third. Butler passes to Gasol. Back to Butler. Outside Rose. From outside the arc. Offensive rebound. Here's Gasol. Udo with the block. And it's Rose penetrating. And J.J. Redick makes up the foul. That's his first foul. For the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Udo. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. And it's Paul in for Rivers.
Pau Gasol over the last few seasons dealing with a number of lower body injuries. Knee tendonitis, plantar fasciitis, groin, toe. Hey, Kobe had suggested to him to try to really slim down to lessen the pressure on his joints.
And Powell never really the burly type, but for 7-footers, getting as wide as possible can really reduce the pounding on those joints.
Yeah, it does. They say every 5 pounds takes some significant wear and tear off your joints. And we've certainly seen that be effective for Tim Duncan. He's leaned up considerably, and Powell able to play both power forward and center. I think the lighter weight will serve him well.
Butler on the wing. And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. Bulls shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Now the numbers last year for them at the line, not great. Just 73% free throw shooting as a team.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
He got it up. Chicago trailing here. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. CP3 at point with Redick there at the backcourt. And it's Barnes in the small forward position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Heinrich outside. 4 on the clock. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Shoots a fader. And the shot is good. Gibson's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Bulls. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Nobody near Barnes. Griffin dishes the ball. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
Despite his ineffectiveness, the team has found other scoring options, which you have to have when one of your main guys is struggling.
Heinrich up top, defended by Paul. Brooks kicks to Gibson. Fader on the way. Blake Griffin pulls it in.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Paul passes to Barnes. Kicks to Griffin. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Great interplay there between those two teammates.
Chicago calls timeout.
Matt Barnes, really a good glue guy. Rebounds, defends. He's gotten better with his outside shot, and he can really run the lane. And he's always had a toughness and a fearlessness that I think a lot of coaches love.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new grouping. Joakim Noah is checked in for Muhammad. Saul comes in for Taj Gibson. Butler, he's checked in for Brooks. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Kirk Heinrich. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He talked about their problems at the free throw line, but tried not to make too big a deal out of it. He said, listen, if we keep getting to the line, the ball will start going through the net. The important thing is keep getting there. Maybe that'll take a little pressure off them, guys.
Thanks again, Doris. And you look at advanced plus-minus measurements, Matt Barnes rates very well.
Not surprised by that, Kevin. He brings so much energy at both ends of the floor. He does a lot of those little intangible things that don't always show up on the stat sheet.
And there's the defensive 3-second call. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Clippers.
You know, one of the big stories has been the three ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And they've been knocking down the mid-range jumper as well.
Paul dishes to Crawford. Back to Paul. Stolen by Noah. Here's the break. Here's Mirotic. It's good. This game is all even.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
Clippers have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Paul with the ball. Crawford outside. Over in the corner, Paul. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. 6 points for Chris Paul. Rose kicks to Mirotic. Feeds it to Gasol. They get a hand on it. Griffin with the steal. The drive by Paul. And slammed up by Jordan.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Here's Butler. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
When you're hot, you're hot. And that's certainly been the case for Butler. 10 points, and all the steals he's collected only add to his impressive stat line.
Yeah, whether he's picking someone's pocket or picking off a pass, he has been causing some mayhem out there for sure.
Jordan with this screen on Butler. In the corner, it's Crawford. The feet to Barnes. 6 on the shot clock. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Here's Crawford. Kicks it out to Paul. Paul is doubled. Crawford outside. Back to Paul. The pass to Crawford. Deflected! And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. Barnes kicks to Paul. The 3 won't fall. Bulls have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Pass to Butler.
At the perfect time.
How about the courage and backbone of this guy? Wow.
Los Angeles calls timeout. So both teams changing it up here. Here's Paul. Jordan sets the pick for Paul. A 3 from Barnes. Welliker just joining us. The intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime. Tip-off goes to the Clippers. And so they have the first opportunity on offense right here as we begin overtime. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Taking a look at Los Angeles. CP3 at point with Redick there at the back. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. And it's Barnes in at the 3, the small forward. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
I thought the pressure might get to him a little bit, but he did enough to put them in front.
Back to Rose. 6 to shoot. Butler pass it to Rose. And he misses the go-ahead basket. The Clippers in the lead.